Hey guys, Tiger Sheu here with Pacific Rim Video, and we're with Osric. Now, you're a very busy man today. You're here at the Asians on Film Festival. Can you tell us what brings you out?
I got an invitation from Scott, and I'm a big supporter of what Scott's done. He's giving me a special recognition award. I suppose I'm gonna have to look into why, because I guess you never really feel deserving of things that you haven't really set out to achieve. But it's been a great festival so far. I've only been able to catch a couple of the shorts, but I'm hoping to catch the rest of them online after. Yeah.
Well, he's a very humble man. The award you're winning tonight is Best Supporting Role Model. So a little play on words. Scott's a very funny guy with those play on words. But can you tell us a little bit how important it is not only to represent Asian Americans on film, but I know, in your personal life, you're also a big proponent of, speaking and advocating. So can you tell us a little bit how you got into that and why is it so important?
I think Scott was probably a big source of inspiration on that front. Like, when I first started as an actor, there was this mentality of always trying to, I'm going to be that token Asian dude, right? Because there was always one. And then at some point it got to an area where I'm like, why? This is after, I was just a normal working actor, and I got lucky with one role, and all of a sudden things changed, and I was put in a different category. But then that's when my mind started thinking, why should there only be one Asian person or one Asian guy? We are so different. And I think it's when I started looking at us all, instead of as a collective, as individuals, and realized we all have the same struggles, I started looking at, the actors in the audition room a little bit differently. I'm like, we could all play this character, yes, but we would all play it so differently. And I just started seeing people as, we all share that same struggle, and I don't need to be that one person standing up there trying to pull everyone up. I'd rather encourage and push everyone else, and whoever gets up there, hopefully we'll have that same mentality, and just all try to support each other, because we're in the same boat. And having one Asian, one token.
Did you say we're fresh off the boat?
Yeah, we're fresh off the boat.
That's terrible. I'll leave now.
Right, but having one of us up there doesn't do us any good. We have to all support each other, come together as a community, so that when someone does make it and they have a character that's just a good character and just happens to be Asian, we support that, because we can see all those nuances that other people might not be able to. And once we start doing that, I think in that backwards way of productions starting to see that support, they're going to start writing that more and more and more as there's more impressions. And this is the marketing in my head going off. I went to school for marketing, and
I think a lot of people appreciate that, because there's almost this Highlander mentality of there can only be one, the chosen one, and I think that's also why a lot of people have gravitated. There's great Asian actors out there, some discovered, some undiscovered, and you're doing it, you're representing. And can you tell us a little bit, what's coming up for you in 2018? We know there's a little show out there that you're kind of on, kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah, Supernatural's been amazing for the last 5 years now. It's crazy. They killed me twice, and they're still bringing me back. I'm dead, but I'm lucky that they're still bringing me back. I just came from Sundance Film Festival, and that was just so inspiring. And that these are all people also in the same boat, indie filmmakers that just wanted to do something for themselves. And it's it seems so unattainable at first, but then you realize that it's not. Everyone is just the same. The only difference is that they're doing it. They're taking a couple of extra risks that most of us haven't yet, and they're just making it happen. So, one step at a time, and eventually you'll get there. So I think this year I would love to have produced my first feature film, independently.
And well, can we ask, for a lot of the audience that we have watching, both here in the States and internationally, can you give them some advice, not only perhaps, getting more involved in entertainment, or maybe being an advocate of it? Some, maybe don't want to necessarily be in front of the camera or behind, but they want to support. What kind of advice can you give to them?
I think just get involved. Events like this, show up to these events, support people. Social media has changed the game, and Asian Americans are actually very prominent on social media, but tweet at people, comment, support, anything. There's Kickstarters available there. If you have a skill set and you see someone doing a project, just send them an email saying, hey, love what you're doing. If there's any way I can help, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep tabs on, those messages of of encouragement does so much. And a couple years back, I did a lot of that, and actually ended up doing a couple of projects that way, just through like randomly emailing people. And it's just doing whatever you can. Like, I've done a good body of work now as an actor, but I'm not against doing anything. Like, I've PA'd for, friends, I'll take out the trash, I'll do whatever. I'll be on set, I'll be there, and, throw in suggestions if I have any. But it's just getting involved in the community, and at some point we'll be substantial enough that, people will notice.
Well, we've definitely taken a notice of what you've done, and very inspiring. Thank you so much. Congrats on your award. Now, a couple more things, if you don't mind us asking, because we know you're a busy guy. Can you kind of talk about maybe the struggle? Because, a lot of this is paused right now. A lot of us are moving forward. But can you kind of tell, for our audience, maybe, how do you deal with the struggle? How do you see where things have changed now that you've been in the game for quite a while? And where do you see it going?
I think coming from just the acting perspective, the struggle was always, why aren't people writing like good roles for Asian Americans? Why aren't people, creating these projects? And I think a lot of it is because they don't, they haven't been through our struggles. They don't understand, and even if they try, they just can't. They don't have that authentic voice. And so I think it's up to us, as a community, as artists, as creators, we have to write those stories. We have to bring them to the forefront and create for ourselves. Start off with short films that you do with your friends, and then, just slowly build from there. And the more we do this, the better we're going to get. Our talent pool is going to rise, and it's happening already. But I think we have to tell our stories and not rely on people who have written the same types of characters for decades and decades and just hope that they're going to figure it out and change all of a sudden. Even if they had the best intentions, it's just a hard thing to do. So we kind of have to put ourselves in the, back in school, learn how to do these things, figure it out, and kind of like help teach the industry how to do things as well. To all my fans, okay, let's start off with the Filipino fans, because I went to the Philippines for the first time last year. Loved it. Wasn't the best project, but I loved my time there, and I'm planning on going back sometime, hopefully this year or next, to do a film there of my own. But to all the fans, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for supporting this network, Asians on Film. The entire community really appreciates it. So again, thank you so much. And if you're in LA when this happens, you should definitely come out.